Greetings, Guardians. This is Olympus Alliance. And today we return once again to one of the newest and most mysterious systems in the game. Realm. And more specifically, Realm skills. Now if you've been following the series, you already know. This is not something you can ignore. These skills might not affect your regular battles, but inside Realm, they can completely change how your troops perform, how your fights play out, and ultimately, how successful your progression becomes. If you missed the introduction or the previous breakdowns, make sure to catch up on those first, because today we're continuing the journey, diving deeper into the next group of heroes. And this time, we're looking at Morrigan, Polaris, Ginger, Fafnir, and Somna. 5 very different heroes. 5 very different approaches. And potentially, 5 very different impacts on your Realm strategy. But before we jump in, remember this. Realm skills only affect gameplay inside Realm. And more importantly, they only affect your troops. Your Marksmen, your Spearmen, your Infantry. So everything we talk about today is about how these heroes influence your army, not themselves. With that in mind, let's begin. We start with Morrigan. Now Morrigan is interesting because she brings a mix of general support and specialization. Her first Realm skill increases the health of all your troops. It's not flashy. It's not explosive. But it's consistent. And in longer fights, consistency matters. More health means more survivability. More survivability means more time for your army to deal damage. And in Realm, where battles can stretch and evolve, that kind of stability can be very valuable. Her second skill, however, takes a different direction. This one focuses on Spearmen, increasing their damage significantly while also reducing enemy defense. Now this is where things get more strategic. Because this skill is strong. But only if you are actually running a Spearman-focused composition. If you're not, its value drops immediately. So Morrigan becomes a choice. A flexible hero. But one that rewards specific setups. Now moving on to Polaris. And here, things start to feel more offensive. Polaris does exactly what you would expect from her identity. She enhances damage. Her first skill focuses on Marksmen, giving them a chance to deal increased damage over a short period. It's direct, it's simple, and it fits perfectly into aggressive playstyles. But her second skill is where things become more interesting. Because now, she buffs all troops, giving them a chance to deal increased damage across the board. And this is important. Because unlike Morrigan's second skill, Polaris doesn't force you into a specific troop type. She supports everything. And that flexibility makes her very appealing early on. You don't need to commit to a strategy. You just get value. Now let's talk about Ginger. A hero that many players overlook. But in Realm, she might surprise you. Because both of her skills focus on boosting damage for all troops. Her first skill gives a higher chance to deal bonus damage. But only for a short duration. Her second skill flips that. Lower chance, but higher damage. And over a longer period. So what does that mean? It means Ginger gives you 2 layers of offensive potential. One more consistent. One more explosive. And because both affect all troop types, she becomes another flexible option. No restrictions. No conditions. Just raw offensive support. And that makes her very interesting. Especially when we don't yet fully understand how PvP will shape Realm. Now we move to Fafnir. And here, things become more complex. His first skill is straightforward. He buffs your Marksmen, increasing both their attack and their defense. Simple. Effective. But limited. Because again, it only affects one troop type. But his second skill, this is where things get tricky. It reduces incoming damage from enemy marksmen, while simultaneously increasing the damage of your spearmen. So now, we have a split effect. Defensive in one direction, offensive in another. And this creates a very specific use case. Because to get full value, you need the right enemy, and the right army composition. Otherwise, you're only using half the skill. And that's the problem. When compared to heroes that buff all troops, Fafnir feels situational. And in a system where flexibility is still king, that makes him harder to justify. Now, let's talk about Somna. And this is where things get exciting. Because Somna brings something that no other hero in this series has shown so far. Control. Her first skill follows a similar pattern to what we've seen. Reducing damage for one troop type, while boosting offense for another. Again, a bit niche. But her second skill, this changes everything. Somna introduces a chance to stun enemy troops. And this is huge. Because control is one of the most powerful mechanics in the entire game. If your enemy cannot act, they cannot deal damage. If they cannot deal damage, you win. And even though the chance is not guaranteed, the potential impact is massive. Especially if this skill scales well with levels. So Somna becomes a hero to watch. Not just for her defensive nature, but for the possibility of bringing true control into realm battles. And that could shift everything. So Guardians, what do we take from all of this? We are starting to see patterns. Some heroes specialize in specific troop types, offering strong but limited bonuses. Others provide general buffs, giving flexibility and consistency. And then, a few, like Somna, bring something unique. And right now, that uniqueness might be the most valuable thing of all. Because the truth is, we still don't fully know how powerful these skills will become. Especially when PvP arrives in Realm. That's when everything will change. That's when we will truly see which heroes dominate, which strategies rise, and which skills actually matter. So for now, be smart. Do not rush to level everything. Do not waste your resources. Observe. Test. Learn. Because the players who adapt early will be the ones leading later. Let me know in the comments which of these heroes you think has the most potential, and if you've already started testing any of these skills in your own realm battles. We're going to keep breaking this system down, hero by hero, until we fully understand it. So stay with us. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and as always, salute and friendship.